You live in LA. Tell us what's going on there, what things have looked like the past 2 weeks, kind of how it's affected you and everything around you.
It was so weird. You could feel the whole vibe of the city was just in, like, you could feel that kind of a panic. There was a weird silence. Fear like just came in like a flood.
So you felt panic. Why was it not your natural response to just fall into that panic as well?
I think in just this journey of like learning who God is and really walking with him, we know what's of him and what's not. If it's not peace and it's not love, you know, the things that we're hearing, the things that we're anxiety, we know that's not of him. I'm aware of this feeling, but like, God, what are you doing in the midst of it all? And usually it's the opposite. If we run into anxiety, like I want to partner with peace instead, because that's what I have access to in him. If I were to be all frantic and partner with those feelings, I would not be clear enough to hear and get instruction from God on what I'm supposed to do. I don't want to rely on my own understanding. In fact, when I do, I'm very limited. I often just stay in a place of receiving his peace because the world's running on anxiety all the time, normally.
For someone who is just not used to anything of what you're saying, as far as tuning into heaven, receiving peace from God, what does that look like for you? Sit there and close your eyes? Is it like you're meditating?
It's a little bit of all the things. Like, it just depends. Call it dialing into Holy Spirit radio. My drive, which we have traffic in LA if you haven't heard, but in that time, I'm usually just like listening to some kind of worship that just gets my heart ready for the day, syncing with him and his heartbeat. I just give him my day every day. There's just moments throughout the day where I've literally learned how to turn my affections towards him, really just being aware of him. I'm not perfect. I mean, goodness, like there's times where I'm like, dang it, you know, like, but going back to that home base where I'm like, I give you my heart, God.
Do you ever feel like you just want to turn it off, Netflix binge, and just not hear whatever's going on in heaven and not talk to God or have him talk to you?
Totally. And I think that the Holy Spirit, honestly, he's so about having fun and he wants us to. I think in all of this, he's forcing the world to rest. And people are squirming because they don't know what to do, you know, and we're freaking out. Like, we just don't know how to be still anymore. And he said, be still and know that I'm God. Just need to take that place again. And if you want to fill that time up with worry, you can, but you shouldn't. And feel your natural man trying to strive to be busy. And he's like, take a chill pill, daughter, and really like rest. And so just looks like to me that there's like in the middle of chaos, what is Jesus doing? He's sleeping in the storm. He's sleeping in the boat. He's bringing order where there hasn't been. He's flipping everything right side up. Just being able to be present with him and present with one another. I feel like our time with each other is so rushed and we're missing out.
Are you worried about finances if the economy crashes and you don't have a job when all this is over?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thing about heaven's report, it's always good. It's always victorious. I've just seen God come through so much. And for all of us who are alive right now, you know, who lived through 2007, 8, 9, like the economy crash, right? That was one of the most epic years of my life. And I know he was bringing that back to remind me of his goodness, his faithfulness, how he provided. So it was a trust walk every day living in New York City, being a student. People, I was getting checks in the mail randomly or like going to conferences. Someone like literally, I was in worship with my hands raised. Someone put a $500 check in my hand. I didn't even know this person very well, but they said, God said there's more where that came from. It was just jaw-dropping thing after jaw-dropping thing. And it's been like that since that time. Whenever there was a need, like God just come through in the most miraculous ways. Like, and I just, anyone who's listening to this and like might have a fear of finances, testimonies are for the taking. Like what he'll do for one of us, you know, he'll do for you. He's so faithful. He hears your heart cry. He knows what you need before you even ask. And he loves to give to you.
How does that stuff start to happen to one person? I mean, it just doesn't happen to most people. So what would you tell someone who has no concept of getting miracles like that and having checks put in their hands. Like, what would you say to those people?
I think we've always been taught we're supposed to do this, this, and this, and it's on us. But that's a one-way conversation. It's not a one-way conversation. It's not up to me to be the source. It's him, and I need to learn how to hear him. I need to learn how to receive from him. That's just changed everything. Oh, wait, it's not me. It's him. I'm going to learn how to receive. So there's a posture of like when you have your hands open and receive. There's something about even as we learn how to breathe in his peace, like just like you're like taking a deep breath and just fixing our mind on him and releasing any kind of weight, any kind of pressure, and learning that art of communion. I'm in him, but he's in me, and we're one. And there's just this like back and forth thing. And we're not listening. We're just talking. We're not going to receive like the thoughts that he says, my thoughts are higher than yours. Like, I want to know what those are because I am limited in my perspective.
For a minute, to the people who have lost their jobs and don't operate in this whole world we're talking about.
There's so much compassion for those dealing with this situation, especially if you have like families to support, and you know, it's scary. I'm not gonna just say I just go from there's a problem and you know that there's no process for me getting to that place of like, oh, this is the solution or this is my peace. It's not always that simple. So I just want to speak blessing over anyone who is experiencing that loss, but I want to encourage you. He is trustworthy. He is faithful. I'll bless you with the spirit of faith and a gift of faith in this time. Also just want to say, voice your needs, give yourself grace. The virus is not your fault, you know, and, but like Kara said, like there is this readjustment that oh wait, I actually work for God. He's the one who takes care of me. He knows my next assignment. And it's an ability to trust him. It says in the word that it's faith that pleases him. And when we just choose to trust, he's not sitting there going, I'm just like not going to do anything. He's all about coming in to the rescue. He already knew that you were going to be experiencing this challenge. He has the solution for you, and just be in that place of expecting. Reach out if you need some encouragement and some prayer.
What does Luke 12:22 mean to you?
Luke 12:22 has become a life verse for me. It says, do not worry about your life, the clothes you will wear, and the food you will eat. I've been going through a divorce. I had no idea that that was going to happen. My husband had been unfaithful for like over a year and a half. I had no idea. And a baby resulted in that situation. I was married for 12 years. It was crazy. The rug was like pulled out from under me. I was sideswiped by life, instantly traumatized, driving down the street and every license plate, 22. Going to a restaurant and they give you a number and it was 22. It's do not worry, do not worry, do not worry. He's been really trying to establish in me worry-free life. In heaven, there is no worry, right? On earth, we just have like every opportunity to worry. Every little, thought almost is like an opportunity to worry. Have you ever walked through a season and wished that you had worried more? No, it's actually quite fun to know where my limits are and that he has none.
Let's talk about fear for a minute. Something people could really hold on to.
What I know about fear is that fear will try to paralyze you from moving forward. Fear has a voice, pain has a voice, and it'll speak to you stuff that is not good. Like this morning, I was like literally like paralyzed, like I felt like just attacked. I was like, I don't even know how to fight this right now. So I put on worship music, and let me tell you, the fear that felt like it was so much bigger than me, and all of a sudden, God became bigger than the fear. Don't feel bad that you're dealing with fear. Let's acknowledge it and let's take that to the Lord. Let's say, God, this is what I'm dealing with.
So turn on worship music. I mean, that really is as simple as it gets.
The enemy hates it. He hates worship. It's crazy. Like in the presence of God, like he has to flee.